Now imagine this. Imagine I just say, hey, you give me your wallet and I take all the money out of there and I don't give it back. You'd probably be upset about that, or you'd just be like, yo, Brian, what the heck? But that's pretty much what's happening when you don't get a good redemption on your points. You are literally having money getting drained out of your wallet. So my whole goal in this video is to break things down as easy as possible for you to understand. If you're planning on getting a Chase card or you already have one and you want to figure out what the best way to unlock the full value of your points are, you're in the right place. So to do this, we're going to go over the exact portal that you'll have access to through the Chase Ultimate Rewards site. And then from there, you can only see this if you have either the Chase Sapphire Preferred, the Chase Ink Business Preferred, or the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. Now, by the way, if you don't have any one of those cards that I just mentioned, you will not be able to see the portal. But if you want to learn more and you don't happen to have any of them, be sure to check out the links down below in the description or scan the QR code on your screen to apply. So first of all, what are Chase UR points really worth? Generally speaking, these points are going to be worth anywhere from 1 cent to 2 cents each, depending on the redemption, but we want to aim to get as close to 2 cents as possible. So this means, as an example, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, it has a welcome bonus offer of 60,000 points, where if you get a 1 point to 1 cent redemption, it would be $600. But if you're able to get a 1 point to 2 cent redemption, that would be $1,200 in value. What I really love about Chase is the fact that any one of these points can be earned through each card you have. And if you got 5 or 6 cards, you can lump them all up into one account at no cost to you. All right, so let me take you through an example. I'm logged into my own Chase Ultimate Rewards portal right now. And you'll notice that if I click this button right here, there are a lot of different navigation tools that'll take me to different parts of the site. Now we'll start with the worst ways, work our way up to the best ways of getting the highest amount of redemption. So make sure you stick through till the end, because that's pretty much where you're going to find the most amount of value too in this video as well. Real quick though, not to waste your time, guys, one of the ways that you can redeem your Chase Ultimate Reward points is through just getting cash back. As an example, my 1 million points is equivalent to about $10,000, and that means I'm getting a 1 point to 1 cent redemption. It's not terrible, but it's not the greatest by any means. Now, Chase has also added Apple to their Ultimate Rewards portal like 4 or 5 years ago, very long time ago. And with this, you can go ahead and get sometimes a better redemption, but that's not always guaranteed. From here, say as an example, I want to get a new Mac, a MacBook Air. I'll click Shop Now. Say I do the 13-inch, the Midnight, the 256 gigabytes, and this would actually cost me 109,000 points. So out of my million points, I could find a decent amount of value, but you need to find what the actual price of the unit is, because at that point, it's when you do the math, you divide it up by what the points are versus how much you're spending, and you can calculate the return that you're getting. Like we mentioned earlier, the consensus is you're trying to get at least 2 cents per point. Generally with Apple, it's going to be within the tier of cashback. You're not going to be getting the greatest redemption. Now, Chase also has dining. This is where you can either reserve different prepaid restaurants and get points back on it. You would actually get 10x points with the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, or you could also use your points to pay for your dinners up front. So as an example, I just typed in a random restaurant here within my area. We'll do 5 p.m. reservation, and I could do a deposit for $10 per person or 666 points. Next up, you can actually redeem your Chase Ultimate Reward points for gift cards as well. So sometimes what they'll do here is they'll give you 10% off. So instead of it being 1 to 1, you'd be getting like 1.1 to 1, which is still not great by any means. But if you really don't value travel, like you would never leave your house for any type of trips, this could be one of the better redemptions you could make. Now, if you're someone like me with a lot of points, it's going to take you a long time because you can only do a max incremental amount of $200. So you'd have to get a lot of different gift cards to actually cash out the full amount, especially when you get to that 7-figure mark of your point balance. What I love about the gift cards though is that you have a wide variety of them, and cool little story. I don't know if it's cool, but when I actually got my Chase account hacked, one thing that the hackers did was they went into my Chase Ultimate Reward points. They cashed out all of my points for gift cards because gift cards are very difficult to track, and they just got themselves a whole bunch of these gift cards at once. And this is actually what I believe is one of the reasons why Chase limits it to $200, because when they take out like $1,000 gift cards at a time, Chase ends up losing a lot of money. Now, this is why I actually love Chase, because even though this wasn't their fault, but it wasn't my fault, and I just had my account hacked. They went ahead and gave me back all of the points that I had on my cards. So shout out to Chase right there. Now we have the pay with points. This is pretty much when you log into Amazon or PayPal and you can pay your cart balance off with the points that you have. I think this is not the best way at all in order to get your points back, but a lot of people here actually sleep on the pay yourself back feature. This is where they're even telling me 1 million of my points could actually be worth $13,000 to even $16,000 when you redeem them for eligible travel. So the eligible categories here are going to be gas stations, grocery stores, charities, annual membership fees, and it allows me to put my purchases on those certain things and then to pay off those purchases on my statement with the points that I have. Now, the eligible purchases that post onto my account have to be within the past 90 days. So as an example, with my Chase Sapphire Reserve card, I have 46 days to use my pay yourself back feature, and I could pay back the $550 in annual fees or just pay 44,000 UR points that I have. Now, if you're all about maximizing your points, if you're able to get 15x back in bonus points, I believe that might be worth it depending on if you really needed the specific item and if you're not planning to travel still. A lot of people might not ever have seen this portal here before, but there are decent deals that come up from time to time. So definitely don't sleep on this. And if you do find a good deal, let us know. Let us know in the Discord, let us know in the Facebook group. And if you guys have not joined that, and by the way, you want like a free credit card organizer Notion template, check out the link down below in the description. I would love to have you guys as a part of our Inner Circle community. I would love to chit chat with you guys a bit more on that social media. Why did I just talk? Why did I talk different? Now, moving forward, there are about 4 other tabs. So you can transfer to travel partner. And I want to say right here, this is a hint. This is actually a really good one. We're going to talk a bit more about that. We have the Chase Ultimate Rewards Travel Portal. This is another place where you can get decent redemption. You have experiences, unless you're doing something crazy where, you know, you love taking trips and you want to go to the next concert that's been sold out. And for some reason it's on here. That's when I say maybe it's a value, but never ever would I ever use my points for, you know, experiences like that. So at this point, we pretty much covered a lot of the cashback routes that you can go. We have, you know, Apple cashback, dining, gift cards, pay with points, pay yourself back. But these 2 methods here, transferring to travel partners and also travel itself, is where you're going to find tremendous amount of value without too much work. So let's start with the easier one, and this is travel. Now here's where you can actually go ahead and book different types of travel for yourself. So as an example, we'll open up hotels. Immediately, right off the bat, it's telling me that 1 million points is worth $16,000 here. This is because whenever I book through the Chase travel portal using my Chase Sapphire Reserve, I get a 50% automatic boost. So for this one, let's do an example of the Hyatt Ziva Cancun Resort. We'll do that for September 1st to September 8th. If I book through the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal, you'll see that these hotel rooms are going to cost me $605 an average night. Now, this is where you need to compare because it's not all the time that you're going to get a better price. So for an oceanfront double, it's going to be $605 a night. But then I actually go on to the Hyatt website itself. I put in the same days, September 1st to September 8th, and I realized the oceanfront double is $570 a night. This is why trying to get redemptions on your points takes a little bit amount of work, but there are instances where if I even change up some of the dates, I've seen before where the Ultimate Rewards travel portal still gives me a much less rate than what I would see on their actual hotel website. It takes a little bit of work, it takes a little bit of time, but I think as long as you show flexibility within your schedule and you're not so certain on the resort and on a specific date, you can go ahead and have the possibility of getting a good redemption. What I love about the travel portal too is that outside of hotels, you have flights, and generally flights are all around the board the same price. So if you keep finding bad redemption rates on a hotel, look towards flights. It might be a little bit different. So if you want to get the most amount of points back, it's always going to come down to this portal right here. It's the transfer your points out portal, where you can oftentimes find different bonus offers. Like right now, if you transfer your Ultimate Rewards points out, to Marriott Bonvoy, they're gonna give you a 50% bonus boost. Now, things like this are great because if you wanna stay at Marriott Bonvoy, you can book directly onto their hotel. You just select the currency from cash to points, and you'll find that you can get some pretty decent redemptions just by comparing the cash rate to what you would pay in points. Now, hotels can be great. I've seen some redemptions where you can go from 2 to 5 cents per point, but where you're gonna find a lot of value is gonna come from booking your points through airlines. Now, this is where it takes even more work because you have to be flexible, like I mentioned earlier, on the departure date, and sometimes it might not even be in the home airport you're staying at, where you need to take another flight to go to another airport where they have something called award availability, where you then transfer your ultimate reward points to a native airline such as Aer Lingus or Emirates or whatever it is, JetBlue, and it's usually on first class or business class flights where you first book it on their base rate. So buy like an economy plus ticket, where after you check out your economy plus ticket, usually there'll be another pop-up screen depending on what airline you use. And they say, do you want to upgrade with X amount of dollars or X amount of points? Usually when it says, do you want to upgrade with like 30,000 points and the cost of that flight is going to cost, like $3,000 to $6,000, that's when you start seeing these crazy redemptions from 5 to even 15 cents or more per point. So what I love about Chase is the fact that they have very good flexibility with how you can transfer your points out. So Chase has 11 different airlines right now, and chances are if you go into any one of these different states or countries, you're gonna be able to use your points to book on their site. If I wanted to take the flight where I'm laying down in those cool little pods, that would, as an example, be a United Business Polaris flight. I'd open that up here, and then I would just go into transfer my points. I would then put in my United Mileage Plus account number, and then from there, transfer your points out, redeem it, then upgrade it, and then you'll easily find value. If all this stuff sounds confusing to you, all you need to do to figure it out is literally just play around with these websites of different airlines. Keep in mind, if it sounds confusing, it was purposely made to be confusing because banks don't want you to just click 1 or 2 times and then get the best redemption possible. They want you to work for it. And even sometimes now we're seeing less award availability where you can actually use those points for really good redemption. Now, I will say they do exist, but it doesn't exist to the degree where it was like 5 to 8 years ago, where you could just get these crazy redemptions like it was nothing. Takes a little bit of work, meaning you have to go on their website, you have to check for different airports if the one at your home airport isn't available, or you just have to be very flexible on the dates. Sometimes you might have to actually pack your bag in the next 2-3 days to catch a really good redemption rate, or other times you would maybe have to plan it out 6 to 8 months during the off season for when people don't really travel that much. Regardless, that's the secret: transferring your points out, getting those business and first class seat upgrades, or it's utilizing your card benefits and then hoping on a hotel room upgrade where you buy a regular hotel, and with the status that you have, they may upgrade you. Email them a little bit, say, yo, what's up? This is my anniversary, whatever it is, and then talk to a manager, write them a little email, and sometimes that can even get you to a huge suite within their hotel. So if you found any value at all within this video, be sure to drop a comment down below, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and if at any point you want to check out the links to any one of the cards that we mentioned, be sure to check out the links down below in the description as well.